everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. Hope everybody is having a great start to your week. Hopefully, you're into your day now and you are moving along. You're knocking down your incremental goals so that you can get to that big goal for the day, so you can get to the bigger goal for the week and the bigger goal for the month, and on and on and on. It's a process, it's step by step, it's consistency. I want you to win in life in every area that matters to you, in every area in which you can be a force and an impact in changing lives, because that's where the reward is. The reward is in changing lives and helping people to become. Um, all of the other things you get from it, the material things are ancillary benefits of you being a force in this world. When you bring value to the world, the money will come. The material values and assets will come. The thing is that's going to leave you fulfilled when it's all said and done is going to be the lives you touched. What did you do in this world that left your imprint on it? And so I challenge you to become the best version of yourself. Before I get off into what I want to talk to you about today, I'm excited about it. As always, what I want to talk to you about, I want to remind you that on Saturday, we are having another Crushing Limiting Beliefs event. The last one was off the chain. I've been having a strong push and demand to do it again. So I'm doing it again, Crushing Limiting Beliefs. If you don't know what it's about identifying the beliefs you hold about yourself to be true that are limiting the way you move, because you can't have a belief that says you can't and then put forth the effort to achieve something. You're going to have to confront those limiting beliefs, much of which come from our childhood. Others come from life experiences that did not turn out in our favor, and we put more gravity into it than we should. This is going to be a very powerful event. It's a course that I wrote about 6 or 7 years ago. I sold it to an institution that cannot be named because of the non-disclosure agreement, but that license, exclusivity license, expired at the end of last year. I took it and I've been using it ever since. But I want to literally teach it. It's a self-paced course. It's meant for you to get and to move through it. But I want to teach it to you because there are some things that and nuances that I want to open up to you, and I want you to see it and feel it. And it was so exciting last time. It was so liberating and so empowering that we've got people saying, hey, man, I want to bring so-and-so to check it out. I want to do this, and I want the live version. I want to be there and experience it. And so we're going to do it again. So if you haven't signed up, sign up for it. I'm also going to be blessing everybody there. I believe in making sure that people who invest in me get more than what they invested. If they are investing in themselves by investing in me, I want to make sure that they get more than what they invested. I want them to have an exceptional return on their investment. So I'm going to be giving away a $10,500 platinum package to one lucky enrollee. To the others that aren't going to win it, I'm going to give 2 rapid change breakthrough sessions, which are going to be used as follow-up sessions to the course, which are valued at a total of $700 both. They're $350 each. I'm giving 2 away to every attendee. So that's 2 follow-up sessions with yours truly, where we sit down and we talk and we go through, we evaluate, we assess, we set goals, we put things in motion, and we make things happen. You would be surprised what I can get done in one of those sessions. With that being said, the link is in the description box. Now, let's talk. I have heard it said that success leaves clues. I am extremely inclined to agree with that. I believe that when you look at people who have been successful in any area, they have patterns of behavior, patterns of thinking. They have strategies and approaches to business development, financial management, relationship enhancement, and whatever else they may be successful at. When you study the lives of successful people, it reveals certain patterns and clues as to how they became successful. Well, if success leaves clues, then it would stand to reason that the fastest way to success is not to reinvent the wheel. It is to find the clues. Let me tell you a little background history about myself before I sit up and talk to you about this. I grew up in what most people would call a shotgun house. A shotgun house probably is more prevalent and known in the South. And what it is, it's a house when you open the front door, you can look straight back through the kitchen and see the back door. Most of the times it had a maximum of 2 bedrooms. If you're lucky, it had 3. I grew up in a shotgun house reared by my great grandparents. That means they were the parents of my grandmother. I never knew my father. My father passed away when I was 14 and took every dream I ever had of having a relationship in the grave with him. First time I ever saw him was at his funeral. My mom was 15 years old when she gave birth to me. She had no clue of what being a parent was. She was 15 years old. Thank God that we have had no animosity. We have had a pretty good run, just not as mother and son would normally be. But I was taught very early on by my grandparents to show her the utmost respect. And so I have done that. And I can say with certainty that I have honored that. I grew up where my grandparents were probably the more affluent of an impoverished neighborhood. We never had to struggle with food or utilities being turned off, but we lived in a community where a lot of people did. We lived in a community where, having a pair of shoes was a challenge for some of my friends around the neighborhood. I grew up in a place where a lot of kids had parents who struggled with drug addiction and alcoholism. And it was a part of the culture. It's poverty sort of breeds escapism, and escapism normally takes you down a path of doing things that's unhealthy for you. Luckily, I excelled in academics, did well in sports, and those offered pathways where I could at least see a vision that brought me out of it. And my desire early in life was not to be there, to be out, not necessarily to abandon it, but not be a part of that disruptive, destructive culture. And so I started out early and I got out and I experienced a little success. I've had ups and downs. It hasn't always been peaches and creams, but I've experienced some pretty exceptional things. I've started over the past 35 years, started and brought to profitability 47 companies. Came back in my 30s and actually ran track professionally for a while. If I saw something I wanted, I went out and I got it. It was about me doing the things that I felt I wanted to do and believe in. And I tell people a lot of times, the first half of my life was about me. It was about me showing people that where I came from, I could have, where I could drive, where I could live, where I could go, where I could fly. And then I realized in my early 30s, sitting in my bedroom in a house in a gated community, and I was miserable, I was empty, and I was searching. And I picked up the phone and I called my mentor and I said, "Man, is this how it feels?" And he said, "What is this? Is how success is supposed to feel?" And he says, "How are you defining success? If you're defining success by your things, you're probably going to end up miserable because there's this feeling that you have inside of you that you're trying to fulfill and things won't fulfill it." I said, "Well, what will fulfill it?" He says, "Purpose." He says, "You got to find out why you're here. The things you're accumulating mean nothing without knowing why you're here. When you start doing what you're supposed to be doing, the things become secondary. They become less important. They're equally as accessible, but they mean less. The things that matter to you are going to have to come forth or you will never be fulfilled. And you will have these empty days and these empty nights and these moments where you can't sleep. And so I made up in my mind that the first half of my life was about me, but the second half of my life would be about fulfilling my purpose. And fulfilling my purpose turns out to be helping people become the best that they can be, helping people move around. And I've done some things. I mean, I've had a nice run of it. My first company, which is still actually in operation. My first company was Stay Fit Fitness and Training. It's now Master Fitness 21, where we do full service program development, research, and so much more as it pertains to holistic health, everything from nutrition to fitness, working out, getting in shape, networks for all of the things that people are looking for, and so much more. But it started out as just, hey, this is the guy who um, will help you get in shape. And that was a long time ago, and it's evolved. Since then, I've used my expertise. I've sat as the dean for the School of the Ministry of Health and Wellness at a Array of Hope uh, Theological Seminary. I have done so much out of that one vein. I have run an international relocation company where I've expatriated and repatriated high-level executives, all types of countries. Matter of fact, I was the person who repatriated all of the Enron executives during the Enron collapse at the beginning of the century. Um, I mean, some phenomenal things when you sit up and think about the opportunity and all the people out there who could have been chosen to do that. And I was the one. That was a challenging time because I watched people come back to dreams that no longer existed. And it really helped me look at life in a different perspective. I watched people who had put everything they had into the stocks of a company that was not really what it was presenting itself to be, and realized that they had totally destroyed their 401ks and their nest eggs. And I was the person who had to tell them what they were coming back to, because I was repatriating them and bringing them back in and setting them back up for their severance packages and whatever that meant. And I expatriated so many from different countries: Flora Daniels, Nortel, EDS, Unical, uh, and a number of other companies. I did their expatriations and repatriations. Very fulfilling, something I learned wasn't really so much part of my passion, except I got to work with people. And if you know anything about relocating, women tend to get really, really unsettled when you start messing with their security and stability. And you're talking about moving someone not to another community or not to another city, but to another country. Working with these wives, were predominantly wives. Most of the executives were men, and they had wives who were going to be following them. And so I got to do that, but that still wasn't in the vein of what I wanted to do. But it was a business. So I have a strategy of how I move in my businesses. And so I go on. And then there's this point where I have some difficulty. I start running into problems. I get a little cocky, on the borderline of arrogant in how I move, because I've been winning so much. I don't think I can lose. And I start taking chances that I shouldn't take. And I start doubling down, trying to recover. And before you know it, I'm upside down. I'm hurting, and I've got to start over. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I want to talk to you about what I did to start over, because I've been using that same strategy. Remember, success leaves clues. I've been using that same strategy with the revamping of the fitness program, Master Fitness 21, Odyssey Media Group, and publishing, the Visionetics Institute, and a number of other different entities that I'm moving at the same time. And it's real simple. It's a process that when I first started it, it was literally how I was going to eat and rebuild my company, how I was going to eat and rebuild my vision, how I was going to literally thrive. I'm not one of those people that focuses on surviving. I focus on winning. I focus on thriving. So even when I'm down, I'm never in survival mode. I'm in thrive mode. I'm about to go out here and make things happen. But this is the thing I've done. It's a real simple process. I decided when this happened about 11 years ago. Uh, it started before then, but 11 years ago is when I looked at it and said, man, this doesn't look anything like what where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be doing right now. This isn't supposed to happen to me. Well, the truth of the matter is, most people go through these processes of where you climb and you get pushed back. It's a part of the process. It's a testing of your integrity. It's a testing of your character. It's a testing of your fortitude, and it happens. Um, there's a saying that the average millionaire uh, goes broke around 2 to 3 times in a lifetime. Now, going broke for someone who has a millionaire mindset is completely different than the idea of what most people have are considered to be broke. But what it means is they lose their resources and they have to rebuild. It's a part of the process. But the beautiful thing about it is once you build something, you have the wherewithal, the understanding, and the knowledge of how to build it. You don't panic when it's time to rebuild. You get to work. And that's what I did. And I made up in my mind that I was going to focus heavily on digital products, the delivery of services via digital tools and resources. And that was going to give me the expanse of reaching people that I could not normally reach. And it was going to expedite the rebuilding of my company. And what I've done is I've used that same blueprint or formula or whatever you want to call it to build opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And to me, I don't make every opportunity a whole entire entity like some of my entities. I've got probably 20 something plus sites out doing things that nobody would ever recognize me as, simply because it was a money making opportunity. And you put it out there, where it's possible, you automate it through SEO, which is search engine optimization, meaning that it's a part of organic searches, meaning that just by it being there, people will, hopefully it will rank high enough up in searches that people will find it and explore it. And, and I got stuff that I created way back when I first started this, that was just the the door, walking in the door of something that I knew I needed to do. I knew it wasn't going to be something I wanted to do long term, but it was going to have to be something that I could do to make money. And those things, every now and then, I'll get an alert. Hey, you just received, or you just received payment for. And I'm like, wow, I forgot that was out there. I mean, there's so many things that are out there that I've been able to do. And I'll come up with an idea right now. I say, man, I bet people can use this. And then I'll sit up and say, and I'll go create it. And I've gotten to now where I can do it in a day. I can sit up and come up with an idea, put it out there in a day, and actually have my first transaction within that 24-hour period. That doesn't mean that that's going to be the case for someone who's just getting started and being able to do that. But what I can tell you is I can teach you what I've done and how I do it consistently. I can teach you to do it in 7 days. Now, here is a strategy that I use. It's just my strategy. Everybody has a different strategy. Everybody has a different approach. I am a person that understands I don't like to pursue people for the sake of resources. So anything that's beyond what I can do on my own, I'm probably not going to approach it unless I really truly see the value in it. And then I'll sit up and I'll explore options of funding and resourcing it, because there's a responsibility of, asking other people to fund your endeavors. And so I try to stay away from that as much as possible. But what I will do is I have a strategy where I go in a way that it costs me the least amount of money possible. In some instances, nothing but time and effort, which is still money to me because I value my time. I've literally have a formula where I value my time. I know what every hour I spend is worth. And sometimes I'm getting it, sometimes I'm not, but I know what I have to make up. If I don't get anything for this hour, that means that time has to be made up somewhere else, because I want to optimize my value in this world, because my family's financial legacy depends upon it. But so how do? I go in with the lowest amount of startup is earthly possible. So I'm not going in trying to seize a large part of the market share. I'm going in looking for people who will find what I do special. I'm going in looking for people who will find what I do unique, or people who specifically need exactly what I'm offering, the way I'm offering it, and it works for them. Why? Because that's going to be different than what the people who are dominating the market are doing. There's got to be a nuanced, specific type approach. Well, that's because I've developed over time these different levels of knowledge, experience, expertise, whatever you want to call it. And I have these things I can do. But a lot of times I see things that other people are offering and are asking people to promote it and paying what they call an affiliate commission. And I sit up and say, man, I can do that. So I'll go out, create a landing page, set it up, put it out and promote it. It's not my product, but I've researched it. I believe in it. I think it's good. I think some people will benefit from it. And I put it out there. I'm not going to put a whole lot of energy into it because it's not my passion. It's not my focus, but it's a money making opportunity. And then it may lead to something else bigger. So what am I saying? I'm saying that whether you have your own idea of what type of business you want to start, or if you just know you need supplemental income, or you think that this market is going to put you in a situation where your job is in jeopardy, or whatever is going on right now, you know that there needs to be another. There's nothing like doing something where you're controlling the energy, you're controlling the effort, you're controlling how you're moving. You're not going to fire yourself. And if you've developed enough understanding and heart and resilience, you're not going to quit on yourself. So then what does that mean? That at some point you're going to produce results, and that you're going to work and produce the results that are directly in correspondence to the effort. So here's the thing. People say, well, how much can I make? I'm saying, I can't tell you that. What I can tell you, this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not something I'm going to put it up and I'm going to earn $100,000 next month. No, what I'm telling you is that what you can do is you can get started, in the amount of energy, effort, consistency, and volume at which you move in promoting it, in building it, in studying it, and advancing it is going to be directly represented in the amount. Okay, I don't know what happened right there, but anyway, one of the biggest problems that I run into is people who have this idea of what they want, but when you tell them what they have to do, they balk at the responsibility of putting in the work. They want the results, but they don't want to put in the work. They want the outcome, but they're not willing to endure and engage the process. I don't know how many times you've heard me say this, that process precedes promise. See, I didn't come from being the mother of a 15-year-old, never knowing my father, in an impoverished neighborhood, and having nothing but negativity, death, and failure be around me, to get to where I'm at because I wished it, I hoped it, I found the lucky potion, I found the hack. I changed my thinking. I started to demand something of myself that other people wasn't demanding of themselves. I started to expect that if I put in the work, that if I was willing to endure the struggle of trying and failing. See, that's another thing. People don't want to fail because everybody been told failure is not an option, and failing is. Let me tell you something. The one thing that my mentor taught me was that he felt that at some point in life I was going to surpass him in success. And he defined it as achieving the things that I set out to achieve at the highest level. And he said I would surpass him. He said, because I had this uncanny ability to set these unrealistic goals that the average person would consider unrealistic, but these huge goals, and that I wouldn't hit those goals when I set them to be hit. So if I set a goal for 90 days, it was going to be so huge that in 90 days, I wasn't going to be there. He said, but I was going to try so hard that when I got to 90 days, that it was everything that I could have got out of those 90 days I got. So I got as far as I could. I didn't get where I was trying to go, but I got as far as I could. And I'm so far ahead of everybody else on that path because I stretched myself. He called it failing forward. He said, you're going to fail, but you're going to fail forward. He said, and then maybe in the 6-month goal is where you actually hit the 90-day goal, but you're failing forward. He says, you don't quit. And see, at some point I came across Stephen Furtick later in life. But that quote that I came across from Stephen Furtick's book, Sun Stand Still. It literally ratified my mindset of how I had lived my life up until that point, and still today. And that quote said that if the vision that you have for your life isn't so huge that it intimidates you, there's a good chance it's insulting God. Let me say that again. If the vision that you have for your life isn't so huge that it intimidates you, it's a good chance you're insulting God. Why? Because God didn't design you for mediocrity. God didn't design you to come here and play safe. God didn't design you to come here and just coast. God didn't design you to be a survivor and exist. God designed you for greatness. God designed you to excel. God designed you to be a reflection of the designer. And you can never be a reflection of the designer when you're walking and playing small, when your dreams are colorless and your goals are dwarfed. You cannot sit up and live life in a way that reflects a God that's supposed to be omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. You need to step out of that mindset and say, I'm going for it. People are going to talk about me. People are going to laugh at me. People are going to say I'm crazy. But what I can tell you is the very people who thought I was crazy 30 years ago are looking at me and going, dude. The people who thought I was crazy are sitting back going, man, I should have. The people who thought I was crazy and way out of my league are now going like, this dude. Why? Because I didn't quit. I didn't fold. I didn't give up. I followed the clues. I found people who were doing what I wanted to do, and I sunk into them. I've paid more than my share of money to learn from people who knew how to teach it, because I wanted to expedite the path to success. I have put in my work. I have paid with blood, sweat, tears, money, frustration, setback, delay. I've had losses. But the one thing you'll see is every morning I'm waking up and I'm putting in the work. When this went down, when this first went down 11 years ago, I looked at God and I said, here we go. I said, I'm not going to ask you to take me out of this, because I understand this is something I have to go through. This is one of those character building moments. This is one of those integrity strengthening moments. This is one of those times where I prove I am who I say I am, where I'm going to walk in faith despite everything in front of me that's saying you're about to fail, you're about to fold, you're about to be crushed under the pressure of everything that's gone wrong up to this point. You can't get out of this. I'm going to walk in a mindset that's diametrically opposed to everything sitting in front of me right now. And no, I don't need you, God, to take me out of it. I just need you to wake me up. Don't let me die until I show people what's possible. Don't you, if you gotta pull me after I show people that I can come out of it. Why? Because somebody needs to know that no matter how bad it gets, you can come out of it. So my agreement with God was simple. If you wake me up, I'm going to answer the bell. I'm going to get up every day and I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to get up every day. And despite how it looks, I'm going to put in the work and I'm going to expect a return. I am going to get up and do it. And what I'm trying to get you to understand is that you have the same opportunity in front of you. No matter how it's looking now, no matter how bad it is. And something is going to tell you right now that this course that I'm offering you, yes, I want you to come to the event on Saturday, because that's going to be explosive. But this course I'm offering you, where I'm literally going to personally teach you the steps I use to start anything that I want to do to generate revenue right now on the internet. It is between a 5 and 7 step. I can do it in a day. I'm going to teach you to do it in 7 days. I'm going to show you how to do it, how to make it profitable. It doesn't matter if you've got a product or if you don't. You have a service if you don't. There's a way for you to literally do something now and start earning money online legitimately. Again, this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is work. This is say, I'm showing up every day. I'm going to put in the work, and I understand at the rate and level and volume that I put in work, that's what I can expect in return. It's not going to favor me any more than it favors anyone else, but at the same time, it's not going to favor me any less than it favors anyone else. It's something that's going to reflect the amount of consistency, effort, and work that I put into it. I'm still growing and rebuilding and relearning and evolving and becoming everything that I want to be in this world, to be a reflection of why God put me here. And I am totally enjoying the journey. It's not always easy. The last year has been hell. The last few months has been torment. But I tell you what, I wake up every day with a smile, and the first words out of my mouth is thank you. The mindset that I step out of the bed with is gratitude. Because I understand when I'm walking in gratitude and I'm walking in love and I'm walking with an anticipation of something great happen, all that negative stuff that's floating around me can't touch me. I'm on a whole nother frequency. I'm hitting a whole different vibration. I'm in the God realm. I'm communicating and relating on the God level with the divine God of the universe, and things are happening, and ain't nothing nobody can do to stop it. I'm failing forward. I'm excited, and I want to help you. And for a very reasonable price, I'm telling you something that if you really truly apply yourself, and I don't see any reason why. I have seen people that I have taught this to earn their money back in a week. I've seen most who are serious about it earn their money back definitely in less than a month. So then everything after that is profit. Again, you come in lowest entry level possible to where you can get in the game. Then you learn the game while you're in the game. And it doesn't cost you as much. And it's easier to stay in because you're not hemorrhaging what you've already spent and what's coming in. I want to teach you this, because if you learn it, you'll start to recognize opportunities when they pass you on the internet. Man, that's an opportunity for me. Right now, you don't even recognize it because you don't know that you could actually do something with it. So it's just passing you by. You got stuff passing you by. How many times, I wonder, have you sit up and watched something pass on the screen and you go, man, that's bull crap. Man, they ain't doing it. I'm telling you, there are people literally making $1 million a day on the internet. Now, they are not high in number, but there are a bunch of them making thousands a day. And they are high in number. And they're not the smartest people in the world. They didn't have all the resources. They didn't have rounds and rounds of funding. They didn't have the greatest portfolio to present to the bank to get funding. They just had drive. They just had drive. I'm telling you, when I started, that's all I had was, this is not how my life is going to end. I'm not going to have been to the mountaintop and die in this damn valley. It is not finna happen. It is not going to happen. I'm going to rise. I'm going to be what I was designed to be. And the thing is, the beautiful thing about it, and what I thank God for so much, is that while I was rising again, I grew. So the person who was doing it this time wasn't the 25-year-old, the 30-year-old. It's a person that can appreciate it. The person who now sees the beauty in the person that they're passing and says, come with me. The person that grew enough to realize that I don't have to be on a pedestal to be special, that I can be with everybody else and everybody can win, that the way that I shine is not by making sure that I'm better than everybody. The way I shine is making sure everybody can rise like I rise. And that's the beauty of this thing, is that you can love on people and you can help people. And here's the biggest beauty. When I get a client who I put on and I give the game to, and I get their head right, and they come back to me in a year or two, and they done pass me. Oh, I'm on like cloud 9, because what? That's why I'm here. It's not a competition. It's a love fest. And we're missing out on it because we've been showed how to be disorganized and disgruntled and angry and bitter and jealous and envy and it's this. And so now it's all of that negative stuff just dragging you down and keeping you in the muck and the mire, and you're wondering why you can't rise. Stop entertaining all of that. Learn to love, learn to give, learn to rise. And that's why I'm here with this. If you have any desire for supplemental income, if you have any desire to create a business on your own, to have something that you can fall back on, even if it's not your primary income, or if you're aiming for the stars and you want to completely create a new revenue stream for you, that's yours, that you can work, that you can move, that creates and gives you the flexibility of when you're going to work and how you're going to work, so that you can take off when you need to take off. I'm telling you, this is an opportunity. Go in the box, click the box, sign up. You're going to receive a thank you message from our support team. They're going to schedule a meeting with me. The first consultation is to talk to you, find out what your strengths are, to give you an evaluation, get an assessment of how you move, where your strengths and weaknesses are. And then we go into the process of teaching you how to launch a business online in 7 days. And this is a wash and repeat strategy. It doesn't matter what you do it with. You can do it. So there's going to be all these opportunities that pass you after you learn this. You go, I can do that. I can do that. And the thing is, if you learn how to automate your systems, if you learn how to use all of the tools that are out there to help you automate and generate what you need to generate to promote what you're promoting, you can sit and do that, get it started. And then when the next one comes, you can jump on it. You can look up and in 10 months from now, you can have 10 different revenue streams online. That's how you build. It's not hitting one button and going, I made $1 million. It's just volume. You keep putting it out there. You keep putting it out there. Imagine if I teach you how to do this, and the first thing you put out only makes $100 a month. Well, in 4 months, you still paid for it. But here's the thing. Now you go out and create another stream using the same strategy, makes $150 a month. Now, in 6 months, you've tripled what you've invested. And now you add another stream. And before you know it, you're up to $1,500 a month. And I'm being real conservative here. I'm going worst case scenario, conservative. You look up and you keep adding, and before you know it, you have enough to where if you need to retire, you can support your lifestyle. That's building volume. That's building digital asset revenue generation online. It's something everybody needs to be doing. It's too easy to do for you to be sitting at home and looking at what's going on around you and going, oh my God. While I can tell you this, while I don't like what's going on in the economy and definitely don't like pulling up to a pump $5 and something for premium gas, I'm not stressing it because things are actually improving and getting better. And I'm just getting started from where I'm sitting. And so I want to challenge you. This is an opportunity to do something exceptional. This is an opportunity to do something that you are investing in you. And it's up to you. Because like I said, I told you my story in the beginning. I didn't come from just abundance of opportunity. I came from, if it's going to happen, I'm gonna have to go out and make it happen. And like George Bernard Shaw once said, he said, the people who get on in this world are the people who wake up every morning and go out and find the opportunities that they need. If the opportunities don't exist, they create them. Those are the people who get on in this world. Everybody's got a reason why they can't make it. And at the end of the day, that reason is an excuse. I started behind the 8 ball. And I know there are a lot of people I know who started worse than me and have excelled. The question is, are you going to invest in yourself? So there it is, 2 awesome opportunities. You can let me teach you how you can start and launch a legitimate business online in 7 days. And you can come to this weekend's Crushing Limiting Beliefs event and experience dynamic change and have a chance to win a $10,500 platinum package. And that package, there's so much that it spans depending on what you're looking for and what you need. But it's 52 sessions, and I promise you, after those 52 sessions, and normally I end up doing a few more just to make sure we get exactly what we're looking for. But it's a minimum of 52 sessions, and I guarantee you it's worth everything. And you're going to get that. Somebody's going to win it. Somebody will definitely win it, but everybody's going to receive 2 follow-up sessions. That's worth $700. So come out and do that. And if you're serious about creating supplemental income, let me teach you how to do it, how to get started. A week from now, you can already be started, or a week from whenever you set our first date to start working together, you can get started. On that note, I've got to get out of here. I got a lot more to do, and you'll probably see me again talking about something more than likely community related next time. But again, it's my passion, it's my love, it's what I'm committed to. I'm challenging you guys to be committed as well. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day.